and welcome to the Hair Energy Report TV. My name's Stuart Nicholson. Call me slow if you want, but it's only a few weeks ago that I realised that I have spent my whole life in the hospitality industry. Yes, I grew up in a boarding house, private hotel, call it what you will, and then became a ladies' hairdresser at age 15 and still part of the industry 51 and a bit years further on. So it's some 66 years that I've been in the hospitality industry. Now there's a few things that I'd like to share with you today, if I can, on what I feel makes a successful person in the hospitality industry. And the hospitality industry is just another word for saying selling yourself. And as a hairdresser, you're selling yourself. In fact, I think most people in business today are selling. But here's just 6 things that I'd like to go through with you on making a successful sale. My number 1 thing is smile. Yes, smile. It's a very simple thing, but if you're happy, your customers will generally come along with you and be happy too. And people say that the McDonald's thing, have a nice day now, well, it's insincere. Well, I'd much prefer an insincere smile than a very sincere, grumpy old what's it. So number 1 thing when you're greeting people is to smile and make them feel welcome. Number 2, your purpose as a stylist and as a salon owner and as a person in life is to make the other person happy. It is your responsibility to give them awesome customer service that will make them happy. Forget that you're selling things, focus on making somebody happy, and you will find that you make the sales by making them happy. Number 3, and this is one of the things that I see go wrong so often, is you have to, when you're working with a client, is give them your fullest attention. Your absolute laser-focused, fullest attention. That can be very difficult, but like everything else, if you practice it, you will find that you will get to the point where the only person that you can hear, see or do is the client in front of you or the client that you're working with. No gossip, no talk of others. Those are the things that they will understand that you're focusing on them. Laser-like focus, giving your client your fullest attention. Number 4, listen carefully. My mum made a mistake and she said, Stuart could sell anything to anybody, he's got the gift of the gab. Well, actually sales isn't the gift of the gab. Gab being talking a lot. Sales is listening carefully. And looking after customers is listening carefully to their needs. What position are they coming from? Are you giving them ideas that they're happy with? So listen carefully, and listening carefully isn't just listening with your ears, it's listening with your eyes as well, because often people will give you clues with their body language. When their shoulders go in like that, that means that they're not interested. When they come back like that, it generally means that they are listening. So listen very carefully. Number 5, assume the worst. If you have a grumpy client in the chair, it's probably because she had an unhappy experience somewhere else and she's expecting to repeat that unhappy experience. Now, assume that it's her fault, not your fault, and you work through it in a positive light. Maybe her last visit to the salon was absolutely horrible and she's feeling that that is just how it's going to be again. Don't reflect back her grumpy attitude. So what I'm saying is, just because she's grumpy, you can't afford to be grumpy back at her. If she snaps at you, don't snap back at her. You can't afford that if you want to be successful in this business of sales and being a ladies' hairdresser. Number 6 on my list of vital things to get charge of if you're going to be a successful stylist is expect to see them again and make an assumption that you will see them again. Every transaction starts a relationship. So every time you see them, you're working on building the relationship that went before. Remember the small talk that you had before and bring that back into the conversation. Remember the detail of their children and their grandchildren, bring that back into the conversation. So every relationship, every meeting is the start of a new relationship. Give them a reason to make sure that they come back and see you. Give them ideas to go forward with their hair. Give them a date to go forward with their hair. I'm often told that you need to see a hairdresser between 4 and 6 weeks. Well, in my book, between 4 and 6 weeks is 5 weeks, so I make them an appointment for 5 weeks' time. And tell them when you want to see them again. I'd love to see you on the 25th of February, that's 5 weeks from today, and can I make an appointment for you now? It's as simple as that. So start off with a smile. Your purpose is to make happy customers. Give them your fullest attention, listen carefully, assume the worst, and expect to see them again. My name's Stuart Nicholson. Now go do something for your business.